Hello, my absolutely beautiful Leo friends, and welcome to your horoscope for November of 2023. We're Leo this month. Not only do we have Saturn coming out of retrograde, but we've got this really beautiful full moon that's going to be happening in your fourth house that I think speaks to a lot of you about this idea of going back to your roots, going back to the idea of what does home actually mean for you and your domestic relationships. It's a really lovely month. Plenty going on. Plus, we're going to see Mercury move into its pre-retrograde shadow time this month. So we've got things to discuss, dear Leo. So let's get in here and see what this month has to offer. All right, Leo, right at the beginning of the month on the 4th, we have got Saturn moving direct in the energy of Pisces. Now, Saturn has been retrograde since June 17th, where it went retrograde at 7 degrees of Pisces after entering Pisces vibration in March of 2023. So all of this started to tell the story of what was going on in your 8th house. This is the house of intimacy. This is the house of assets. So we've also got death, debt, taxes, astrology. The 8th house has a lot to do with what we take on in terms of getting in touch with and having mastery over our own intuition and healing. So it's an absolutely phenomenal energy that we've been working with. So Leo, as you're looking back into your life, especially when we flash back to March of 2023, what was happening for you in your 8th house? What was happening around intimacy concepts? What was happening around joint finances, to include collaborations and your relationships? You know, were you moving into a position where you're like, I am ready to make a more serious commitment. I'm ready to make some moves. I'm ready to take this next adventure and move forward. And during the retrograde, you got to stop talking about it and actually be about it to move yourself forward, because these are the signatures that this particular Saturn retrograde has been laying at your doorstep, which is absolutely fantastic. So Leo, please let me know in the comment section down below, you know, what was happening for you in this area, and where did you feel yourself coming into the understanding of Saturnian energy that yes, commitment is commitment. Mastery and coming to the next level has its limitations. It means you can't just be all over the place, you know? So where did you come into a deeper understanding of these concepts and you were ready to take on that responsibility? Whatever it is, I'm super proud of you, okay? When we get to November 8th, we see Venus moving into the energy of Libra. Now, Venus is in home court advantage in this particular position because it is the ruling planet of Libra. So this is a very comfortable transit for this Venus energy, which means that typically it's a very comfortable energy for us as well. So this is going to be lighting up your 3rd house space. Now, when Venus is traveling through the vibration of Libra, first of all, this is because Venus is an attracting in energy. If you needed to put something out, or you needed to sell something, you needed to promote something, you wanted to put your book out there, you wanted to update your website, you wanted to buy that car, buy that house, any of these kinds of things. This is an excellent cycle for being able to do that. And you have the added benefit of the Libra energy, which is about compromise. It's about we all win here. This is fair. This is just. So you can attract things to you. And or I really like this transit. Like if you did need to sell your house or something like that, you're attracting to you people who want to buy and want to give a fair deal. This is a pretty relationship focused next few weeks that we're going to be dealing with until December 4th. So keep that in mind, especially if you're thinking about illustrating that book, taking that class, doing some learning, teaching, things like that. This is going to be particularly helpful to you. Okay, on the 10th, we've got Mercury moving into the energy of Sagittarius, which is super fun because now we've got the planet of the mind, the smaller mind, the details, the how do I give information, how do I receive information, but also bringing new information. Mercury brings new information to the sign that it is dealing with. So Mercury in Sagittarius, instead of being like, oh, okay, I need to be in the details of everything, now you are wanting to be in the big picture. So this cycle that goes all the way until December 1st is in your favor for planning, Leo. What do you need to make big plans around? Also, I like to look at Sagittarius as our sign of faith. Okay, what do you really have faith in? What are you really taking on? What are you going out on a limb on? What are you expanding out to that you're realizing, Leo, I've come to the end of myself. I'm going to have to believe that God, the universe, whatever you call it, has really got my back. But here's the other portion of this. You guys know, if you've been around my channel for a little bit, I don't just believe in faith. I believe in faith, which is the belief that yes, this big idea will be supported. I am supported, but trust, which trust is where I take actions that demonstrate that I have faith. So if it's, I think I want to, in my fifth house, because this lights up the fifth house space for you, if I think that I want to, put out a book, I want to have more pleasure, I want to have more play, I want to have more romance, I'm willing to let something into my life, I want to express myself or be creative in this way, or things around children, right? Because this is absolutely a children energy. So whatever that is, you're having to actually take actions that show the universe that you want to have that in your life and you're willing to work with it. So make your big plans, but keep it easy. Be a little bit light and breezy here. This is not heavy lifting. This is not a heavy lifting transit at all. So make a vision of the big picture and then move with your actions towards that. Now, keep in mind too that Mercury will enter into its pre-retrograde shadow time as we get to November 25th. So one of the things I want you to also keep in mind is that from the beginning of this month all the way until the 25th, you're really in the seat of a good position to make deals, sign contracts, do things like that before Mercury's going to enter into its communication slowdown, okay? All right, November 13th, we've got a new moon happening in the vibration of Scorpio. And for Leo, this is it. I absolutely love this moon for you. It's happening at 20 degrees of Scorpio, and it's happening in your fourth house. So this particular new moon is, we're going to plant our seeds of intention, right? Plant your seeds of intention for what do you want to begin? What is the experience that you would like to have at this particular moon? What is something in your fourth house, in your domestic zone, that you are absolutely calling into yourself? This is the moon to plant those seeds of intention to allow these things to happen out. But further, what are those things? First of all, to me, I look at this and my first question is, what is home for you? What does home mean to you? Where do you find deep intimacy in whatever you call home? Right? Where are you getting into your own roots of what your family has taught you or what your history has taught you, Leo, and you're ready to form a different domestic story around what is home for you. So one of the other things I was thinking about, because this particular moon is also in a conjunction with Mars, but it does oppose Uranus, okay? So the signature here is, yes, I'm ready and I'm willing to have this new beginning, but it does require you to kind of rebel. You have to come at this in a way that is, very different than what you had ever been around or experiencing before. So it really does call for, this is a breakout moment. And one of the other breakout moments for you, if you need it, Leo, I really mean this because this is Scorpio energy, which is that intimacy, the control, the power dynamics. And because it has so much to do with self-mastery and detoxing. If you have not rested, if you have not honestly rested, or if your home has not felt like it is a place where you can receive deep rest, use this new moon to plant your seeds of intention to call in these valuable things and people who are willing to be as dedicated as you are to creating safety, sanity, intimacy, and peace in your home, okay? All right, when we get to the 22nd, now we've got the sun entering into the energy of Sagittarius, and then right behind that on the 24th, we've got Mars entering into the energy of Sagittarius. So the fifth house is lit. I don't know what else to say. The fifth house is lit. There is a lot going on. Children, conception of new projects, new ideas, new, and it's interesting because when we've got the Sagittarian area, the fifth house of your chart really lit up, you're not like, yeah, I want to be super deep about everything. This is a little bit easy breezy. Okay, you've called these things into your life. You're working with what you're working with. And now you need to become more aware of how to bring that to reality. You're becoming more aware of people and other perspectives and ideas and philosophies around you. This is the time of the year that you get to demonstrate, courage, real fire sign kind of courage, and a real willingness, because you are a fixed sign, to behave as a mutable energy for a little bit, for a few weeks, okay, until December 21st, at least with the sun. And what I mean by that is, where can you just be more flexible, Leo? You have an opportunity in this season to be big and bold and beautiful as you are, but it requires that your confidence and your focus move in a greater way, which is a little bit outside of your comfort zone, okay? Now, the other thing that we need to be mindful of, we got to talk about it, is because this is a fellow fire energy. Mars is here now. You're a fire energy. Don't overestimate what you're actually capable of. And that means, because I told you, you've just had this new moon. If you need to rest, even if your star is rising, Leo, and you are on the go and you're like, no, I don't want to miss any of the energy will begin to wane if you are not rested. So don't pack the calendar so full that you don't actually have time to rest, okay? Right? Now, the other thing is arrogance. This can be a season of pure on arrogance. So if you're starting to feel restless in some way, that arrogance has an opportunity to climb a bit more. And what's more important is that the sun is shining here. So people are also seeing this of you, Leo. So if you don't want to push people away from you, if you don't want to push opportunities away from you, sit down and be humble where you can, but also get out there and shine like that big sun energy that you are, okay? All right, when we get to the 25th, now we've got Mercury moving into its pre-retrograde shadow time at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So Leo, we're watching your chart from 22 degrees of Sagittarius to 8 degrees of Capricorn. This is the area of work that you will be moving in, okay? So start to take note here as Mercury is starting to slow down and bring our attention to what we're going to work on all the way from November 25th to January 20th. So get set in here for the long haul, okay? Now, as this is going to be happening, of course, it's going to be moving through your 5th house. It's going to be moving through your 6th house. This is where this retrograde is going to be dancing for you a little bit. So watch both of those areas: fun, rest, relaxation, pleasure, and play, and maybe conception of people or new ideas, but also your health and daily routine house. I'm telling you, if you are not rested, your body will get your attention, okay? As we close out the month, beautiful Leos, on November 27th, we've got a full moon happening at 4 degrees of Gemini, and this is going to light up your 11th house space. So the full moon is asking us to end something, acknowledge something, or to make an adjustment. All the lights are on. We've got to see it and ask the question, what is the purpose of this in my life anymore? Does this still serve a purpose here? What can I bring to culmination? It's also the time in the month where I would tell you to celebrate what you've been building in this 11th house of your life, which is friends, social groupings, social media, where your aspirations, dreams, and long-term desires for yourself are at. Friends, your friendship group, right? But the full moon is a time where you're having to get some things into the sorting hat and say what still really belongs here and what really needs to go. Now, this moon, just like the new moon we had, is in beautiful connection with Mars, okay? And the sun, of course, because they're both dancing here in Sagittarius, but this squares Saturn. So one of the first things that I think about in this particular arrangement is that this is a mutable square. So when we're under the energy of a mutable square, first of all, it can create worry. We're worried about something. Maybe you feel like you're experiencing a social crisis, or even it could be that a friend or someone around you is experiencing their own crisis, and you're like, hey, what is going on? And they're asking you for help, or they're asking you for your feedback. Now, one of the other things I was thinking of, because Mars is involved here, is that there's something you aspire to. You want it, you want to go after it, but you're like, why is this block in the way? And I think that the block here, Leo, that I want you to be mindful of is it's this block of needing the validation from other people, right? You're needing the validation from other people. This is in opposition, right? Because remember, the moon is over here in Gemini, but Mars, the sun, Mercury, they're all in Sagittarius, which gets very big very fast. So whether it's I'm looking for validation online, I'm looking for validation from my friendship group, something here may be a little bit out of whack. So you can take a look at that. And also to the other side of that, I want to say, I think that it is a great energy for making sure that if you are online, if you are doing social things, if you're doing marketing or publishing or presenting your case in school, whatever it is, make sure that you are seen. It's the balance between being seen so that people know where you are, how to find you, and how to engage you, and needing it, if that makes a little bit of sense, okay? So whatever this is actually looking like for you, just keep in mind that this is the energy that's trying to bring your attention to. And if for some reason, let me know if this is you in the comment section down below, but if there's travel that's involved in this particular time in your life and in your world, as you're getting to the end of November, if you can do your travel before the 25th or after this particular full moon, maybe the 28th, 29th, something in there, those are better travel times. So just kind of keep that, in the back of your head, okay? All right, my beautiful Leos, I hope you have an absolutely gorgeous month. If you are looking to connect and have support to grow all year long, please make sure that before the end of October, you take advantage of my packages as they are on sale for half off so that you get 260s, 230s in your sessions, and we're able to walk through the entire year using the astrology to make the changes you want to make in your life and in your world. All right, beautiful friends, I love you. Have a great month.